All right, so finally, we're going to do the overtime. This is going to be the overtime. I want to give you guys some extra time because apparently my internet connection sometimes does this. It goes off and on, off and on, off and on. So I want to give you guys some extra overtime to ask some more questions. I think last time we spoke, we left on the physical media copies versus digital media. So I felt like we can maybe talk about that a little bit more. What's up, Monique? How you doing? Welcome to live stream. And this will be just a short little overtime, like 20, 25 minutes. Yeah, so I'm not going to try to spend too much time here. Just going to do like a little short overtime because for some reason my internet, it's just taking a dump. And when it starts taking a dump, it continues to take dump until I flush the toilet. That's what it is. It takes the dump. You know what I mean? Come on. There's all the internet over here. What do we do about it, huh? Come on, Tom. Huh? What can I do, huh? What do we do over here? I'm going to sit over here like a Jehovah's Witness and wait for you to fix this internet for me, huh? I get a horrible impression with my Italian. Your take on EA Access? Well, they got some good stuff going on, for sure. I think one of the cool things about EA Access is you don't get to pay the full price for the game. So you pay $53 instead of $64 or $63. Hey, anything I can spend money on a game, dude, I'm for it. But you also got to remember you're paying a monthly subscription, you know, and their monthly subscription has been jumped up a little bit. So, like I said, there's some positives and there's some negatives. I wish that they would keep it at $5 a month, you know, instead of $10 a month. I wish they would keep it at $5. If they kept it at $5 a month, and then they give you a discount on all of their new games, and they let you try the game for 10 hours for 10 hours for $5. If they kept it like that, that'd be cool. I also don't like that for the PC, you have to have a separate subscription. Why can't you use your existing subscription and take it to the PC? So there's some things I don't like that they do, and then there's some things that I like. But one thing that I do like is the fact that you get to try the game before you buy it. I think that's pretty cool. Hey, let me try this new Madden. Let me try this new FIFA. Let me try this new Battlefield. Let me see if this is something I want to invest into, right? And in 10 hours, you will know. You will know if you want it, you don't want it. You will know exactly if you want that game. So there's some cool things about that. And also the fact you don't have to spend the full $63. You just pay $53. So that's kind of cool. But I'm not a big fan of their monthly subscriptions. And also they're making you pay $15 a month for the PC Premier EA Access. So I'm not a huge fan of that. So I don't know. I mean, but I think this is where we headed, man. We're headed to the digital domain. Like everything's going to be on that digital domain. Everything's going to be on that server, on that cloud. And slowly but surely that's going to happen. I mean, you look at cable companies, dude, no one even, the only reason people have cable company subscription is because of the internet. No one's using the cable company to watch cable. Why? Because everything you want to watch, you can watch on Netflix, Amazon, YouTube, Hulu. There's so many different ways you can catch on ESPN, ESPN Plus, NFL Network, NFL whatever, ticket online. I mean, the only reason you have these cable companies is because of the internet, honestly. Because people want to watch when they want to watch and how they want to watch. Everything is on demand. People live in a society today where people want everything at midnight. You know what? I don't want to stand in line. I don't want to drive and get out of my comfort zone and drive somewhere to stand in line and buy the game and wait for the clerk to finally process my game. And here's the game. Here's the change. No. Some people, they just want, I want to be in my pajamas and I want to wait till the clock hits midnight and then I get to play the game. That's the kind of world we live in, whether you like it or not. You know. Now, the only thing that sucks, it sucks for the movies. It sucks for the movies. It's gonna suck so bad for the movies. I hope that the physical media stays for the movies, because if the physical media goes for the movies, now that's the problem. And that's the problem for me, because I collect a lot of movies on physical media. You know, thank God that 4K UHD has taken this big, huge wave that it did in past 2 years, and staggering numbers of sales for 4K UHD Blu-ray movies. So that's good news. So that tells me that 4K UHD is here to stay for at least another 5 years. Keep my fingers crossed. Another 5 years, hopefully another 5 years. Let's see what we got here. Coventry 1988 says, when I go on the HDMI 2, which is what I've been told to use my Xbox One X on when gaming. I checked on my Xbox One X, and all the green ticks it says when I checked the resolution 2160p. It also says could you be more specific, Coventry, on what your question is? Because you're kind of going all over the place. I'm trying to figure this out. From what I'm trying to gather with your question is you're trying to find out what does it say on your HDMI 2? Why does it say 2160p when you are watching your Xbox One X, and why does it say something else when you connect your computer? Is that what you're trying to ask? Let me see. Jimmy, not really. The only Vizio I had was Vizio M55C2. Vizio M55C2, which I still have, is right over here. It's wrapped up. It's sitting here. Let me see. 1988 Convertry. I wouldn't worry about that. You got to remember, PC, it varies sometimes because it depends on how you choose your output on the PC. If you go sRGB or if you go YUV 420, it depends on how you choose your. Do you choose sRGB or do you choose 10-bit? But don't worry about it. It's all going to be 4K. You have to remember, it has to fill in that 8.3 million pixels. That graphics card that you're outputting that source, it has to fill in that 8.3 million pixels. So it's still going to be 4K. Don't get confused with these different readouts on the display. It's still 4K. The only thing you have to watch out for is what it says. Does it say 60 hertz or does it say 120 hertz? Now, you're never going to be able to have a television running 4K at 120 hertz. We're not there yet. The best you can get is 1440p 120 hertz. But as long as it say 4K 60 hertz, that's fine. Now, some televisions, they have 30 hertz. Some of them, they have 30 hertz, like my Vizio M55C2. The only HDMI that supports 4K 60, it's just one HDMI. All the other HDMIs, they're 4K 30. And they don't support. Some of them, they barely even work with some of my 4K movies. You got to use that one HDMI input. Hey, what's up, Isaiah Thompson? How you doing, man? How's everything? Reynolds says, got a hot take. I think crossplay for all systems is really close to happening. 2 years the latest. Yeah, I think it's going to happen. I think listen, it's inevitable. All of this will come together. I think we're gonna end up in a brave new world where everything will be available for you. Like, what do you want? You want PlayStation, your Xbox? Do you want to play it here? Do you want to play it there? It's really going to depend on your ecosystem, like where your ecosystem is. Is your ecosystem on PlayStation subscription, or is your ecosystem on Xbox subscription? where you can play all these games cross-platform. I think it's going to happen, but it's going to be still a long, long time till we get there. It's not going to happen like maybe 8, 9 years from now. Who knows? Let's see what else we got here. When on computer it says something different, that's because Convertri, you need to set your HDR slider on your Windows. Your Windows needs to support HDR. Do you know how to turn that on? I think maybe I can. Let me see over here. I'm going to go to my settings. Where's the system? Display. Okay, when you go to settings, under the settings on Windows, make sure you go to your display. On your display, under that display section, you will see right underneath where it says night light settings, you will see HDR and VCG. Make sure that your HDR and VCG settings are turned on. If your HDR and WCG settings, I'm sorry, your WCG settings and HDR settings are not turned on, then you will not see the HDR. This is the only way the Windows can utilize the UHD color. So you have to go on your start menu on the Windows 10, go under the settings, click the settings, go to display, and on the display underneath night light settings where it says HDR and WCG, click and slide to on HDR and WCG. That's how you get the HDR running. If you don't have that thing turned on, you will not be able to watch your, it will not show up HDR on your television. Hopefully this, you can try this out. Hopefully this helps. Which 4K Blu-ray, Versace Boy says, which 4K Blu-ray do you recommend to go with the Q8 FM? Well, if you can find it, but I don't think you can find it cheap. I always recommend Oppo UDP-203. But listen, Sony will get the job done. That new Sony, what was it, 700 or X800, will get the job done. Sony will get the job done. LG also will get the job done as well, you know. But I wouldn't really go anything too crazy. You know, Oppo, it's really for those of you who truly want the best of the best, who really have the home theater systems. They got very expensive equipment, amplifiers, a really expensive TV, who are like designing their own home theater. Then I can maybe see you going to invest into the Oppo UDP-203. But if you're just a casual dude, casual guy, even the Xbox One S will get the job done. Even the Xbox One X will get the job done. Hell, even the Philips 4K player will get the job done, the cheapest one. But Sony is good. I mean, you can go with Sony. Sony, that X, what was it, X800? Is that what it was? I would go with that. I would go with that, you know. Hello from Italy. Ciao. Hey, how you doing? Bobby Bryan, how you doing, man? Welcome to a live stream. Jimmy Brode says, I bought TCL 6 Series 65, and it's great. But Vizio P Series looks really nice. Just looking for a head-to-head with someone who has the both. I don't have the P Series, but the one difference is obviously the price. You know, the P Series is more expensive. It's $700 versus TCL at $600. I still think TCL is better because it has the NBP photon technology, much better, wider color gamut. It has the 840 nits peak of brightness, really good on the low input lag on the gaming. It has Dolby Vision HDR. So I still say TCL, honestly. And it's cheaper. Whenever you can save money, man, go with something cheaper. That's what I would say. The next generation consoles has to run like 10 Ti's or better. Devin, I don't know. I mean, I guess they would have to. If they want to utilize their true native 4K on every game. But I think they're going to need to beef up the memory RAM. I think one thing the PlayStation will do, they will beef up that memory RAM. We're going to see 32 gigs of GDDR5 RAM. They're going to beef up that memory RAM, and they're going to go with like maybe 12 teraflops with 32 gigs of GDDR5 RAM with something like 9 cores, 3 threads, or something like that. They're going to go something crazy. But then again, if they do go something crazy, how much is going to cost? Are we going to be looking at $600 again? Or are we going to be looking at $500? So it's going to be tricky. It's going to be tricky to see how they're going to do it. Daniel says, it's probably because your TV doesn't support the pass-through for the HDR, meaning you have to connect your HDMI to the one that's 4K 60. I think that's what's going on. That's like the only conclusion I can come up with. It means that your HDMI input doesn't support the 4K 60. Means you have to connect the HDMI input that supports 4K 60. Meaning you have to go and plug it to the one where it says 4K 60, the best HDMI for 4K. Usually they're highlighted. Convertri 1988. Let's see what else we got here. Daniel Fitzgerald says, love the channel, recently bought the LG C655, love the TV, as I've heard it was the best. Yeah, C6 by far was one of the